Hey, what's up guys? Gonna be doing another video here. If it's too loud, just go ahead and turn it down. This is on my laptop microphone, so yeah. Staying here again with my grandma, so if I'm here doing that, I'm doing the videos here on the laptop, so just go ahead and turn it down. If I start to get really loud, at least you'll be turned down ahead of time. But what are we talking about today? We're talking about Friday the 13th. Halloween Part 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. So, after Part 4, which I really liked, they made Part 5 within a year. And, honestly, when I saw this the first time, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was good. I just thought it was okay. I thought it was passable. And even now, compared to some of the other sequels, I do still deem it as somewhat passable. But the reason this is going to be a rant is because they did probably some of the stupidest decisions in the franchise. So what am I talking about? Well, first of all, Michael Myers was fucking blown away by guns at the end of the fourth movie. So, okay, he was blown away. He's dead, right? Oh, no, because we threw a stick of dynamite down there, and he just happened to crawl out of this hole into these water rapids. Then he lived with a hobo. Or whatever, and then killed him. I'm like, okay. Don't really believe that, but okay. We'll continue on, because I'll be mentioning that here later. So then you have your returning characters. You have Jamie Lloyd, which at the end of the fourth film, she kills her mom, and she goes into a hospital, I guess. And then you have Ellie Cornell, Rachel's character, or who played the character of Rachel, and she was your only other likable character other than Danielle Harris. Now, Danielle Harris in this film is a mute, so, well, at least through half the film. So half the film she has no lines. She literally writes something on a chalkboard, or she just does these hand motions, or whatever. It's ridiculous. And then you have Ellie Cornell, who is a very likable character. A lot of fans like that character. And instead, you do the stupidest thing. Okay? I don't mind killing this character off, but you need to kill the character off later in the film. You can't just kill this character off towards the beginning of the film, and then, oh, well, appreciate these new characters. Who's going to care about these characters when you just killed off a character people liked? And it's not like, oh, Ellie Cornell couldn't come back to play Rachel, so they had to get someone new, and then they're just like, oh, well, we'll kill her off for the sake of we couldn't get the other actress back. No, it was literally just, oh, well, we're just going to do it for shock value or whatever stupid reason. And the character they replace her with is Tina. Now, she's very, very annoying. Probably regarded as the worst character in the franchise, let alone probably one of the most annoying characters in film. Now, if you like Halloween 5, that's fine. I know when I first watched it, I thought it was passable. Even now, it's passable compared to some other bad sequel movies, but it still sucks. It's still going to be a rant. And this character's annoying. I mean, not even joking. The first, like, one of the first lines she has is Really? Really? This is going to be the line you open up with. Right? Or one of the first few opening lines. And so they already make you not like the character, right from the start. Even if you like those airhead sort of characters, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And it works if you don't have another character that you like. Then okay, this character may liven up the movie or TV show or whatever. So sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And this film seemed to try to be really, like, campy and goofy. Characters, all the characters pretty much are throwaway characters. A lot of the stuff is goofy, like the cops making cartoon noises. I don't know why they had to do that. Danielle Harris, again, is mute through most of the film, and she meets this kid who stutters, which he didn't bother me that much. I didn't really like his character, but he didn't bother me as much as he bothered other people. But I know he's bothered a lot of people as well. So there's another fault if you don't like stuttering characters. You're going to hate this kid. And just some of the other things, like I said, the characters are just throwaway. The death scenes really aren't that good. They're nothing special. They're kind of generic kills. They're nothing to write home about. You have Danielle Harris getting chased with a car. Michael Myers driving a car. And it looks laughable. It really does. It looks laughable. You have, then, towards the end, some other scenes in the film. First of all, Dr. Loomis, Donald Pleasence, he does okay, but I do think it's one of his weaker performances. It seems like they're really making the character try too hard. Like, and what do I mean by that? Well, he just gets, like, really obsessed with Michael Myers in this movie. Like, come get the little girl, and, you know, talks all this other stuff, you know. Then he beats him. He tries talking to him, you know, talking some sense into him. For what reason, I don't know. He beats him in the head with a 2x4, and after surviving an explosion and gunshots and everything, tranquilizer darts and 2x4 is what's going to kill Michael Myers, which everybody knows wasn't true. And then you have these scenes like with Danielle Harris going, "Uncle," and then he takes off the mask and you see him cry. I'm like, really? You do this close-up of his eyeball, which I'm not saying characters can't have emotion, but he shot out his fucking eyes in Halloween 2. How can you sit there and do a close-up of his eye? You still have Sam Loomis have a burnt face, so it's not like anyone forgot. Oh yeah, but I totally don't remember the eyes getting shot out. That never happened. You see how stupid this is? Oh, you look just like me. Really? Did we need that line in there? He looks just like me. Tranquilizer darts and a 2x4 is what stops Michael Myers. Getting exploded at the end of part 2? No. Getting shot with a shit ton of guns and falling down a mine shaft in part 4? No. But tranquilizer darts and 2x4? Yeah. It's dumb. The house. From what I understand, they filmed this in, what did they say, Salt Lake City or something? Utah? I think that's what they said on one of the features. I'm like, this house looks nothing like the Myers house. And again, I don't know if it's because it was torn down, they couldn't get to it, but it just, why not even get a house that was even closer? Like, the house is a different color, it's got different shapes, it's got like these, like, tower things, like, you know, but just the structure looks totally different. And, of course, then you have the Man in Black, which was just, literally, they admitted this in the features, that they threw that character in at the last minute. Really? You're gonna throw this character in at last minute, and, well, who is the character? Who's the Man in Black with the silver-toed boots? Oh, well, he's a character that we're gonna talk more about in part 6. But that was literally the reason they added him. Not because part 6 was coming out anytime soon. They just said, they just did it for sequel. They didn't do it because they had a reason. They just knew they wanted to make a sequel. In the future, there was going to be another Halloween film, so let's put the Man in Black in here for no reason. And they were talking about it going to be his twin brother, I'm like, what? Twin brother? Like, I understand in the second film they kind of wrote that in, that Jamie Lee Curtis was his sister, right? And I mean, that was just something they just made up for bullshit, you know? It wasn't actually, it was never written that way. That was just something they threw in so they could make sequel off of it. Which is fine. I mean, that's a little more respectable and believable than just throwing in this character at the last minute. And the fact that they ditched the whole idea of Danielle Harris at the end of part 4 really, I wouldn't have wanted to see her necessarily walking around killing people, but it's not like it couldn't have been something they could have used in the future, maybe for an older character or something. I mean, I don't know how they would have done it, but I think the whole idea was you really didn't need a sequel. And if you're going to do a sequel, just do it to something else. Maybe make another alternate story. You know? You could say maybe her and Michael got into a fight. I mean, I know this is going to sound ridiculous, but they could have thought of something to not have to use the idea if they really didn't want to. If they knew it couldn't work out, hey, maybe she tried to battle Michael or something for power or whatever and say, okay, I'm going to be the killer or whatever. Not actually saying that. And then one of them kills the other one. And just have Michael maybe kill her off. If you wanted to use the idea, but then maybe you couldn't use the idea or couldn't use any ideas. There could have been something there. Or you could have just not made another sequel. But they did. And of course, the Man in Black thing really didn't need to be there. It literally could have just been cut out. And they could have just ended the part where Danielle Harris is there and just says, he'll never die. Or the police say, he'll stay here till he dies. And then she's like, he'll never die. And then they could have just ended it. You know, but they didn't. So, I don't get it. One more thing before I go is I'm going to talk about the laundry chute scene. That's probably the best scene, the most memorable scene. It is a good scene, but it doesn't save the movie. Donald Pleasence is okay, but I think in the other movies he did a much better performance. Here, he just, I don't know. He's not horrible. I do like Donald Pleasence. I mean, this is probably the only reason I would watch it would be for his performance, even if I don't care for it as much as the others. But the mask really doesn't look anything special. It looks a little better in Part 4, but that's not saying much. Because Part 4 really wasn't a good mask. That's about the only problem I had with that film. That and trying to make sequels off that ending. Even though I liked the ending because it was shocking. It was a good sort of shock value ending. You didn't see it coming. But it's like, how are you going to make sequels out of it? So, I don't really know how they would do it. But definitely they could have come up with something better than this. This is definitely one of the weaker sequels in the franchise. Just like I said before, a lot of stuff doesn't make any sense. Or it's like, why would you do that? You have these better characters here, and you kill them off for shittier characters, and then the other characters we don't care about. Making stuff goofy. Like da 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 da. You know what I'm talking about. That, the cartoon noises that the cops make, the sound effects they put in, it's ridiculous. So this one, I would say, skip over. If you want to watch it for one time, I'd say it's a one-time watch film. You're either going to really enjoy it, you're not going to mind it, or you're just going to hate it. I'm just sort of right in the middle of that. On one hand, I don't mind it, because I can get through it and finish it, but on the other hand, it's disappointing is what it is. It's not necessarily bad as much as it is disappointing, because you do all these stupid ideas that make no sense. So, I think 14 minutes is long enough for this film. Thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you for the next Halloween video. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.